Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about the ridiculous excuse they're giving for what's causing these recent medical emergencies that we are seeing happen in the thousands, if not tens of thousands. Now, guys, a lot of you know, right, that it seems like climate change is being blamed for everything. Or they're blaming people for causing climate change, like Hillary Clinton blaming Trump supporters for the climate change. Now, again, do I believe in climate change? Absolutely. But I wouldn't call it climate change or global warming. I would call it the Earth is doing its fucking thing. We have seen, at least scientists have told us over the years of science and being in school, that the Earth goes through its changes and its natural changes on its own. Now, could we be helping these changes rush or hurry up, if you will, or have them coming up faster? Probably. We definitely could. I mean, a lot of the ice age and or heating up of the planet, a lot of it happened before we were here, and it's happened numerous times. This isn't the first, but the fact that they're now trying to tell us that we're causing climate change and we need to do X, Y, and Z. It's bullshit. The planet's been through this fucking a million times before us, while we were here, and probably long after we're gone, it's going to be doing this. But still, we know that the climate change is a tactic to get more money out of us and to control us. Both, right? You got climate change taxes or green gas emission tax and all these fucking crazy taxes. And I'm like, they're just looking to get more money out of it. And then it's also now entering into control. They want to control what we eat, how we function, how we move, how we travel. And so with that, guys, now they're telling us that climate change is causing all these medical emergencies that we're seeing. For example, I thought I was seeing shit when I saw this, but blood clots. They're saying that because it's so hot, it's thickening the blood and causing clots. Before Mr. 19 reared its ugly head, and before its accomplice, the arm ticket, was created, we've had, or rather countries like India and Africa, have had extraordinarily hot days there. Africa is always hot. Every time you think of fucking Africa, you think, you know, hot people dying and all kinds of shit, but they don't. They adapted to it. They didn't have a clotting issue, if you will, in Africa or India or any other place that gets super hot. We've never heard of this. Now all of a sudden, after Mr. 19 and the arm ticket are introduced, now all of a sudden we're getting these medical emergencies and these blood clots left and right now. But now they're trying to come back and say, well, it's the climate. Climate's changing and it's getting hotter, and so people are dying. Now, a lot of people are dying suddenly, if you will, because that's the new term you're going to hear. You're going to hear that multiple times for the next probably 20, 30 years or forever. Nonetheless, guys, it's a fucking problem because now they're trying to sit there and blame climate change. And because they're going, climate change is causing what kind of medical problem? Oh, you know what? We got to get those cows. We got to get those cows and those chickens. We got to make sure that they can't eat meat because that's causing half the problems of climate change. Meanwhile, they have their blinders on because they're not looking at China or other European countries that have these giant factories pumping shit into the air. Whatever. Point, guys, is that they're trying to now say that we need more control so that less medical emergencies happen. And this is how they're going about it. They're going after stoves, right? Gas stoves in New York City. That's becoming a thing now. They're increasingly... New York State, rather, sorry, and New York City want to get rid of gas stoves, and they're increasingly talking about it more instead of the crime that's going on in New York City. Then you have, what I find very interesting, is they going after cars. Now, they've been going after cars since I was a kid, but they're going full speed with it now. And they're going to lose that fight. They're going to lose the fight, or they're going to cause a civil war. I don't know how it's going to be, because even liberals are not ready or willing to give up their cars. So with all the medical emergencies occurring because of climate change, people believe it. That's the craziness. I mean, like, the strokes have gone up, and they're sitting there going, it's climate change because of blood clots causing strokes. What? And again, people believe it. People are like, well, there's medical evidence. There's no medical evidence. There's just a fucking doctor getting on the fucking TV talking shit, not providing us any proof other than what he's saying. And because he's a world-renowned doctor and he's been through it and he knows everything, he's been in school for 28 years, we're supposed to take this asshole's word for it. These are the same people that told us the arm ticket was going to keep us safe and not get sick and not spread and all this other bullshit. And what did it do? Dick. Right? So, we are definitely, guys, in an interesting era right now with this whole climate change. I mean, listen, again, when you start blaming people, Trump supporters, when you start making up shit, oh, it's causing strokes, brain disorders, blood clots. It's the climate, man. I'm like, what the fuck? Seriously, like, how did people in other parts of the world that are in hot-ass parts of the world get this far? How did the human race get this far? We've had hot-ass summers before. But whatever. They're pushing this narrative, and people are believing it. And the problem is, guys, is that there's only a few of us. Right? There's probably a few million of us, but still, it's not enough to combat with the rest of the morons of the world who believe this shit. Who are like, did you hear what Biden said? He said that all this heat is causing blood clots. That's why Grandma died last week. You know, meanwhile, Grandma was fucking 99 years old and was ready to die because she was tired of the fucking her son's liberal bullshit and decided to fucking just stop her heart on her own so she didn't have to hear his bullshit and his pussification. That's why she really died. Sorry to let that guy know that. But anyway, my point, guys, is that they're definitely going to keep changing the narrative as they go along. They're going to change the narrative from here till fucking Timbuktu. They're just going to keep doing it, and people are going to keep buying into it. So, guys, with all of that being said, be careful of the bullshit, and be careful of stepping in the bullshit, because they're going to turn this up a lot. They're going to have us, like, you know, sitting there believing that we're the cause of all of this shit, or the weather is the cause of all of this shit, instead of just going, use your heads, people. We know what's causing all of this shit. If you look at 2019 and back, we didn't have any of these problems. And we had some super hot fucking summers. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was 2016 and 15 was like the hottest summer we've had on record. Or 2017, one of those years. And people weren't having heart issues, blood clot issues, strokes, brain emergencies, or whatever the hell they're calling them now. Right? I mean, like, we didn't have any of this shit. Now, all of a sudden, after something was introduced and after Mr. 19 ravaged the world, now we have this problem. But now, when people start asking these questions, they're going to fall back on, well, it's probably another form of long COVID. Blood clots, heart issues, and, you know, dick attacks, because fucking supposedly ED is on the rise now. I wonder why. I wonder fucking why. Anyway, and for those who don't know what ED is, erectile dysfunction. Those are for the guys who are already vaginas, have high estrogen in their body, and took the arm ticket. If you have all three of them, you might as well just call yourself Susan and wear a fucking dress, because you're done. At least you're done as a man. Anyway, guys, this is The Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel.